Hi everyone and welcome to Club 1, Episode 1 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM20 Journeyman Save in the British Isles with me, the United City FM. So welcome to the brand new series. The intention for the series, the aim of the series, is to start a manager off with as little qualification and experiences as possible, try and find a job somewhere, build our reputation, jump through a few different teams, trying to get up the ladder of football management ourselves, try and get to the Champions League final. If we reach a Champions League final, we get one shot at it, and whether we win or we lose, that will be the end of the series. It's going to take several seasons to do that. We may not even do it. Who knows? We might just get sacked after sacked after sacked and never find our way anywhere, and eventually the series will peter out if it's that terrible. So there's no guarantees here, but the intention is to try and get from the very bottom to the very top if we can. So to do that, we're going to load up our manager today, and I'll show you the process for that so you can see what we're working with, and then we'll go into the game and try and find our first club. So let's get going and click into the career mode. So immediately in career mode, you can see we got the opportunity to manage all sorts of different clubs here. In the Premier League and all sorts of other English sides. That's what I'd set up on a previous save that I was running. And you can see that we could do all sorts of things, but we're not going to do any of it. We're going to click on the starting job and click it to unemployed. So now we start the game completely out of work. We'll go to advanced setup. I'll show you the leagues that I've got loaded up for this particular save. And you can see that a lot of them are view only. The only ones that aren't, I've got quite a few view only leagues just to put them in the background and keep things ticking along nicely for them. So hopefully when we get into the bigger leagues later in this particular series, then we've got some decent size in European competitions to come up against, etc. But the only playable leagues that we've got are all the English ones, the Irish ones, the Northern Ireland ones, the Scottish ones, and the Welsh ones. Those are the only playable leagues. I've gone in also in the custom database and added a couple of things in there just to go in and check it out. If we go to the advanced setting there, you can see I've gone in and loaded up as many players as I can from England, Ireland, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales. So we'll come back out of there, and that's up to our player count to about 33,000. Just thought that would be helpful. You can see that my computer is decent. I upgraded fairly recently, so I get a good speed out of the game. And we're going to be starting in early pre-season English time-wise. I don't think that'll matter because it's pretty much all the same for each of those different divisions, I would suggest. We'll just go and check that. It doesn't matter. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. So that's the setup for leagues. So we will click in and start the game. So this is the manager that we're going to use. The United City FM, male, 43 years old. Let's just check a couple of other bits and pieces. Born in Hounslow. It was the closest place to my birthplace originally, so that's why I've put that there. I've got Sunday League footballer experience in terms of playing terms, but no coaching qualifications whatsoever. And you can see that's represented in my abilities down here. I went for a slightly tactical manager as much as I could, which gives me 3 points in that particular one and 2 points in mental. And then in the other side of things, in the mental side of the game, I've put a couple of points in each of determination, player knowledge, and motivating. And other than that, everything else is set to 1. So we will use that particular profile. And here we go. You can see what I've set up here. There's nothing that I'm hiding from anybody. Tactician. Didn't give me much, but it gave me a little bit of tactical awareness. I think that's the reason I wanted that is because that's how I see myself as a manager. My job is to form good squads of players with the tactical thoughts in mind, really, as to how we're going to go about playing the game and build squads purely on that basis. So that's why I see myself as a tactical rather than any other sort of coaching manager. So we'll confirm that. So here we are in the very first screen that we find ourselves in the actual game itself. Here is my manager, the United City FM. You are currently unemployed. You can look for available jobs in the job section. And here's the list of available jobs currently and some insecure ones. So the way we're going to go about finding a particular job, there's my social feed. Apparently Leon Butler, who is my personal assistant, has set that up for me. So thank you very much, Leon. So the way we're going to find a job is go into the job centre, and we're going to filter it down, take that out, and then just add the manager ones in. Take away the filter screen, and this is the current list of jobs that we've got available. Now, some of these, like for example these types of one, Barnsley and Leighton Orient, Grimsby, etc., if I were to apply for them, it wouldn't get me anywhere. I wouldn't have suggest, because I don't have the experience and the managerial capability for it. So we're not going to blanket apply for everything. We're going to pick a few out here and there and see whether we can apply for a decent job. So let's go and check out some of these leagues and see where we would potentially be happy to work in. So JD Cymru North, the Welsh League, is 153 in the rankings, and which was the club for it? The club was Conwy. This one here. Let's go in and have a look at them for a second. Half a star rating, semi-professional, finances okay. How many players have they got on their books? A fair few, a decent enough size squad. If we come back out and go and look at the season preview, we'll see where they're expected to finish, and they're expected to finish right down at the bottom. So there's the challenge for that particular side. So if we come out there, and we're not going to go and look at Falkirk or Hearts, just because I think, again, that would be out of our reach. Got a couple of Irish First Division, the Republic of Ireland First Division. So if we go and check those out, so it was Longford, who again, semi-professional, 1.5 star reputation, so decent reputation there. And what was the other one? It was Cobb Ramblers, wasn't it? 1 star reputation, semi-professional. If we go and have a look at the season preview again, and see where they're expected to finish. Longford, well, they're expected to finish 3rd, and Cobb Ramblers are expected to finish bottom. So again, you can see what sort of tasks would be in those sorts of teams. So they're potential to apply for. We've got a couple in the Northern Irish leagues. We've got one in the Bluefin Sports Championship and one in the Blue Sports Premier Intermediate League. Okay, well, where's that one sit? That's 302. Where does the other one sit? The Championship, 244. So again, it was more likely that we'll get this the lower of those jobs. And then we go into the English leagues. In the lower leagues, the Vanarama North, Vanarama National League South. Bit of a mouthful for me. We've got Oxford City and Braintree, so we could start in there. So let's go and have a look in on those two sides. Oxford City and Braintree. Oxford City right at the bottom again. Braintree, where are they? Oh yeah, right smack in the middle. Okay, interesting. Looks like they've just been relegated into this particular division, so they're expected to finish mid-table. If we go and have a look at their reputation, they're a 1-star club, semi-professional, insecure in their finances. Oxford City, again 1-star club, finances are okay, semi-professional. So you can see the sort of standard and the level that we're looking at. Are there any others? I would suggest that's probably out of the current crop, that's the group that we would be applying for. So probably what I'm going to do, rather than make you sit through the whole process, is that I will apply for all of the ones that we've just had a look at, and go through some job interview processes. And at the point where we get a couple of hopeful job offers, then I will come back and we can go through the process of figuring out which one to choose from. So bear with me for a second while I go and do that. So I've spent some time going through a few interviews. I had interviews with the likes of Conwy in Wales. You can see that one here. They approached me for the job, but I wasn't convinced on the project that they were offering me. I went to Braintree and Oxford City in terms of interviews for them also. There were 1 or 2 others as well. But the job that's come up that I think is most interesting to me at this point is Cobb Ramblers. And they, if we go and have a look, are in the First Division in the Republic of Ireland. And the reason that it interested me so much was they're already partway through their season. Their season runs slightly differently to what you would imagine. Let's go and check out where they run from and to. So it starts on the 15th of February and the competition ends on the 15th of November. So there's a few months to go, but their season is already sort of halfway done. And the reason that the job interested me so much is that my task is to make sure that they avoid finishing bottom. And currently, they're in 6th place out of 10 and quite a long way ahead of Wexford, who currently sit bottom in terms of points. So I think I'm almost guaranteed to succeed in my first season in terms of what they're asking from me. If we go and have a look at what they're asking, strive to make progress on and off the pitch. Okay, that's their club culture. Their 5-year plan, work within the wage budget. I suspect that's going to be a bit tricky, but we'll look into that in a second. But the end of the current season, First Division, avoid finishing bottom of the league. I think we can do that. Senior Challenge Cup, can we be competitive? Well, we'll find that out. Both the League Cup and the Munster Senior Cup haven't got any provisos by the side of it, so I suggest they're probably not judging us on that too harshly. And then the next few seasons past this, if we were to stick around in this club, is just to establish ourselves as a First Division team, which I think, considering where they currently sit in the division at this precise second, wouldn't be too hard an ask. So I think I can build a reputation from this particular club moving forward and look to step up the leagues in terms of finding other jobs along the way, should we continue to do so. So yeah, I think this is the club I'm going to take. So we will start the negotiation process. I delayed them for a week just to be able to check out some other job interviews, etc. But I've made my decision. So what are they going to offer me? They're offering me the job as manager immediately as we speak. The contract length is only till the end of this current season, but that's fine because, as I say, I think we'll achieve their targets this season. And I've got a wage of £325 a week, which, okay, I will happily take that. There's all of the stuff that we've just been through down the side, so I don't need to change any of that. I'm perfectly happy to finalise the deal. I'm pleased that everything was sorted out so quickly. We'll complete the paperwork and finalise the deal in the near future, so we can exit the talks and progress the game. So yeah, here we are in the Cobb Ramblers. Is it Cobb? Coop? If you've got an idea on that, do let me know in the comments below, but for now I'm just going to be calling them Cobb Ramblers. Whether that's right or wrong, that's fair enough, but that's how I'm going to go about it. So Cobb Ramblers have today confirmed the appointment of the hashtag the United City FM as the club's new manager. Eyebrows are raised. Well, we'll have to make sure that we prove the doubters wrong, won't we? I rejected an offer from Oxford City and a couple of others as well. I just felt that this was the best opportunity for me to get in on management, so that's why we're here. So we go to the next, and it talks, there's some stuff from the chairman giving us club background. Founded in 1922, Cobb Ramblers are a semi-professional Irish club currently playing in the Irish First Division. Ramblers finished as League Cup runners-up in 2018. So there's some cup competition closeness in getting to the final a couple of years back, or a year back from where we start the game. So yeah, they're going to want us to do something similar this season, you would imagine. The club play their home game at St Coleman's Park and possess basic training facilities and basic youth facilities. The club also has average academy coaching and an adequate youth recruitment network. Okay, well, some things that potentially we could improve on if we decided that's what we wanted to do. I suspect we'll probably be focusing mainly on improving the first team squad, though. The club is affectionately known as Ramblers and retains a fierce rivalry with Cork City and Cobb Wanderers. Ooh, okay. As a club which enjoyed its best spell of success during the 2000s and their last competition when coming as recently as 2016, Ramblers are a club with a growing history. Cobb Ramblers won the Irish second tier for the only time in 2007 and were runners-up 3 times. Finished runners-up in the First Division Shield in 1998, finished runners-up in the Second Division South in 2010 and finished runners-up in the League Cup in 2018. So a fair amount of runner-up positions here and there, and the occasional top-tier title win in terms of divisions that they were in to get promoted here and there. So St Coleman's Park has got a 5,980 seat capacity, and it was built in 1900. And you can see we got the basic youth facilities, basic training facilities, adequate recruitment. So yeah, all in all, not a bad little setup, and I think we can do some good things in however long we're here. So we'll progress from that. Your coaching staff have compiled a brief overview of current Cobb Rambler squad. They will provide you with more comprehensive report in the coming days. So their suggestion is that we play a 5-4-1. Not convinced about that, but we'll have to check out what our squad is like. I'd like to play a 2 up top if possible, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Here's what we've already seen. The club culture, strive to make progress on and off the pitch. The 5-year plan, work within the budget. Be competitive in the first division. The minimum expectation is that the team attempt to be competitive in the first division. Okay, well, that's fair enough. We can hopefully do that. They've changed that from not get relegated, possibly, but that's okay. Whatever it is, we'll be absolutely fine, I have no doubt. So we will happily click on from there. Finally, please do not hesitate to let me know if you would like any of the arrangements below to be made. Once again, I'd like to welcome you to Cobb Ramblers, and everyone at the club hopes that this is the beginning of a long and successful era. Well, how long and successful, we'll have to find out, but I'm happy to be here. So do we want to schedule a press conference to meet the media? Yes, we do. Send advice report from the backroom staff? Yes, I think we'll have both of those, so we'll confirm that. And here we are. We are now the manager. Well, I am now the manager of Cobb Ramblers in the Irish First Division, I think it was. We'll go and check that out and confirm that in a second. There's some players in the last stages of the contract. We'll have to go through some of that. Playing time expectations. Okay. There's somebody wanting one of our players. I've made an offer for 15-year-old Shane Power. Power could provide... Oh, no, we've made one offer. Oh, it's our head of youth development, Frank Kelleher. Let's go and check him out. Working with youngsters, 13. Judging player ability, 10. Judging player potential, 13. Not too bad for this level, I would suggest. So let's go and see who he's identified. Okay, at 15, I think that's pretty good, isn't it, really, for this level? Decent determination, decent leadership already, good work rate, natural fitness is all right, free kick, so he could become a free kick specialist. So yeah, I'm pretty happy that that's an interesting player to bring to our attention, and they've made an offer for him, so we'll see what happens with that. So we've got a youth intake preview already. I'm not quite sure when that will happen, but let's see what we've got. There's a lot of wingers in the system. At least one of our goalkeepers looks a great prospect. We have one good young Irish goalkeeper from Cobb who has caught the eye. There is an excellent group of players coming through. We've no defensive midfielders coming. We haven't any new wing backs coming. The full backs coming are not the best. Most of our centre backs coming through look like they won't make the grade. The next crop of wide midfielders do not look like great prospects. Most of our attacking midfields coming through look to be below the required standard. There are a few good wingers in general. So, yeah, bit of a mixed bag, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens when they do come through. But interesting to get that at this stage already. So, season expectations. Attempt to be competitive. Yep, we can certainly do that from the position we find ourselves in, I would suggest. Again, similar in the Irish Senior Challenge Cup, be competitive. Irish Munster Senior Cup, reach the semi-final. Okay, well, there's a challenge. We've got a wage budget of 1,368. Currently, we're spending 1,108 of it, so there's not an awful lot to play with, is there? But you know, we'll have to go with that and see what we can achieve with what we've got. I won't take the tactics induction, having done that before myself. So, as requested, I've completed the introductory report on the squad for your assistance. So, here we go. Request youth facilities. Poor youth facilities. Charlie Fleming make captain. We'll figure all of these things out as we go. but that will be helpful for me to have a look at. So let's go and do the important thing at this moment with any new club and check out what our squad is like. Let's actually first go and see what our under-18s are like. Here we go. So we've only got one actual recognised player, and the rest are all greyed out. So why is he down in this area? Well, it's difficult for me to gauge exactly what sort of stats I'm supposed to be looking at this point as to what the levels are. But what's he got? He is a central defender with 8 tackling and 6 heading. Not great, is it? Positioning's poor. Marking's very good, though. And aggression. So, yeah. I think we're going to move him up to our main squad just to be able to see him next to everybody else. Because, you know, he's the one and only person down there currently other than these greyed out players. So we'll do that, and then we will go and have a look in the squad. So this is our first team squad for Cobb Ramblers. So what have we got? Current ability wise, let's see who our better players are. Charlie Fleming, who was also suggested as our captain, I believe, and Ian Turner. So looks like a right back and a right or left sided winger. So let's go and have a look at what the height of our standards are. So this is Charlie Fleming, and he is a right back, and his attributes are pretty good actually. Physically, he's decent, isn't he? And in terms of his mental attributes, very good determination, etc. there. So that's good. Slightly poor on the technical side. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers in that sense. So there's something certainly to work with in that one. But if he's going to be our club captain, he's got a decent amount of leadership and determination, really. So that's not a bad shout, is it? And the next one is Ian Turner. And he turns out more to be a right-sided player than a left-sided player. And what's he got? Crossing of 11, that's decent. First touch 11, free kicks 13, good. Flair 12, off the ball 11. Some reasonable middling stats on his physicals, which is pretty decent, I would say. So, yeah, I would suggest he's definitely got a role to play for us. If we go down to the next tier of player, we've got David Hurley, who's a defensive midfielder, a central midfielder. Decent passing, first touch is good. Bit poor on the mental side of the game, reasonable on the physicals. So again, I'm sure he's probably got a role to play for us. And then we've got a goalkeeper, Adam Mylod. Yeah, I was hoping for a little bit more than that on the technical side of things. In terms of his goalkeeping skills, they're not so hot, are they really? But there's some other decent attributes in the physical and the mentals, but what's our other goalkeeper like? Let's go and find him. Paul Hunt. Yeah, a little bit better maybe, especially on the goalkeeping side of things in terms of aerial reach and reflexes. Good determination. Some fairly good physical. So, it's going to be an interesting battle between those two as to who picks up the jersey. But the only other one that I wanted to look at was James McSweeney, who is also a central defender. And there's some slightly better sort of defending attributes there. Tackling of 10, heading of 12, some reasonable physical attributes. So, yeah, all in all, it's going to be a mixed bag, isn't it? But we've got a couple of high potential players. Apparently, Mylod is high potential at 22 with those attributes. Not convinced, but okay. Other than that, Ben O'Riordan is a central defender who's 22, and he looks fairly decent, I would suggest. Heading is reasonably good. Tackling's good. Positioning is good. Some reasonable mental stats. I think, yeah, he's got a bit of potential for us. So we've got some stuff to work with. I will figure all of that out as I go through this in terms of what tactic to play and how I'm going to set them up. And can we go and find any free transfers or anything like that to supplement this group of players? Let's go back in and have a look at the division rules and see where we're at in terms of transfer windows, etc. So first division specific rules, start dates, 43k if you win it. We're not going to win it this season by any stretch. Trialists, no trialists allowed. Transfer window, here we go. Current transfer window, where are we at? We're on the 6th of July. So between the 29th of June and the 29th of July is our current transfer window. So we can go and get some players potentially, which, yeah, would be handy. So I might have a look at that. So, yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for this point. You can see that we're already halfway through our season, sitting in 6th. And so there's something for us to work with in terms of we can look at some previous results and check out how they've been doing. Let's look at those results. You can see it's been a very mixed bag, hasn't it? But the last couple have been decent, and we've got some interesting games coming up. We'll have to figure out how good our opponents are as we progress through the next couple of weeks. But yeah, it's been a bit of a mixed bag, isn't it? So hopefully we can steady the ship a little bit and provide them with some a bit more security and some slightly better results here and there. But yes, that'll do it for today. Welcome to our very first club, Cobb Ramblers. It's going to be an interesting ride to see if we can get up the ladder right the way up to a Champions League for ourselves, changing clubs as we need to progress up the ladder. But I hope you're going to enjoy the series with me. Excuse me as I have to clear my throat. But if you like my series so far, then why not subscribe to the channel? Keep up to date with the videos. If you like this particular setup episode, then why not click a like on it for me? Help me get seen by others. If you're starting a new save yourself in Football Manager 20, let me know how you're getting on in the comments below. But until next time, take care of yourselves. I will see you soon, and bye for now.